All right, ladies and gentlemen, of the 1/18 scale, 3.75 inch, 4-inch modern action figure community, I'm back again with another video. And in this video, we're going to be discussing none other than Mr. Bradley J. Sanders of Chicago, Illinois. Us in the action figure world, G.I. Joe community, we know him as Big Lob. Now, we were first introduced to Big Lob in 1987 in the G.I. Joe movie. He was a member of the Rawhides rookie group that was being trained by Beachhead. And Big Lob was a very interesting character. He stood out because he often referred to himself in third person, and he spoke in sports commentator jargon. That was kind of hard to say. But anyway, moving right along, he was in this obstacle course. He was alongside Tunnel Rat, and they both had to get through this grueling experience of a obstacle course. And he was able to get through it by acting as if he was on the court. Judging by his appearance, he's an ex-basketball player. And it actually shined through and allowed him to get through that obstacle course. So he is ranked as a E4 corporal. And ironically, despite his popularity from the movie, I don't think we ever got an action figure for him. I think the first time we saw a figure for Big Lob was in 2010 Collectors Club release. Now, that actual figure I'll put right here so you can get a look at him. He used Salvo's body, Gung-Ho's arms, I believe, and Mercer's head sculpt to create the figure in 2010. Aside from that, and he was done fairly well, but aside from that, the only other figure that we got from this namesake was the figure you see before you, which was released in 2017 of the figure subscription service. Now, before we get a look at him, here is his file card. I'll zoom in. You can pause and read that. But it says here that his specialty is infantry grenadier. And I read somewhere that his military specialty was his ability to throw grenades. Pretty interesting. And his secondary military specialty is special services. So I guess my military people know what that MOS would be. Special services. Not sure I know what that is. It says, when Big Lob makes his move, he always shoots to score the big win. And it says that down here across the bottom. So you can read that after you've paused it. So let's get a quick look at the figure here. And let's talk about what we really think about the figure. So first and foremost, from the movie, and I'll show a picture of him right here, he's been working out because he's all jacked now. He's a huge guy. He's one of the bigger action figure bodies. Truth be told, these hands are very hard to come by. If you have a figure like, for instance, the Retaliation Rock was released with one molded hand, like molded to a gun, and one regular hand. So if you ever needed hands for that figure, they're very difficult to come by. You would have to buy, maybe if you're lucky, you can find a bigger figure like this and use them as parts, or a bigger figure sold as parts. But these are very expensive, and you cannot obtain these just for hands. You're going to have to go all in and do the collecting role and just write off any other figure that you may need hands for. But these hands are very hard to come by. I just thought I'd add that in. So moving right along, he's got this jersey on. You see number 14, just like he had in the movie. He's got these grenades because remember he's a grenadier. He throws grenades. This belt across his chest that holds his grenades. He has this hip thing going on here. Not sure I know what it's supposed to be, but it looks like oh, you know what? That's a harness. That is a harness, like a climbing harness. And these, if you don't know what these are like ascenders. You clip them on and you use them, and you can climb a rope by sliding them. They lock. You pull up, slide it, it locks. You pull up. So you'd have to, if you don't understand it by the way I'm describing it, look it up what an ascender is. But yeah, that's a harness with 2 ascenders on the side. Interesting. I never noticed that until just now. Awesome. He's got the green pants, the brown boots. Look at this head sculpt. I don't think anyone else is using this head sculpt. I think it's very interesting because he is his own man. It's pretty cool. So moving right along, aside from what you see before you here, the only other equipment that Big Lob comes with is, of course, his figure stand. Get that to nothing really special. All black with his name printed on the front. Awesome. Next, he comes with what looks like a 9mm. Could be a 9mm or a 45. Focus in, focus in. Come on, focus in. Doesn't want to focus in for some reason. Okay, that might be it. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to focus in. I think I got too much going on in the background. But anyway, yeah, it looks like it might be a 45 or a 9mm. I'm thinking more of a 9mm. But that's his second weapon. And his third weapon, it would only be fair, it would only be right that it is a grenade launcher. All of his weapons cast in just a gray hue. Dropped it. I always drop these weapons, I'm sorry. But yeah, just cast in a gray hue. Nothing really spectacular about it. But it is really cool. Right? So, that's the only equipment he came with. But of course, through other toy lines, you can get other guns if you felt you needed him to have a different outload or loadout, sorry. First and foremost, let's talk about his physique and how he looks. I guess maybe years ago I would have thought, no way, this is a basketball player. He's too big. Should have been cast as a football player. But he does have that. Now that we've seen other players over the recent years who have big frames like this, such as LeBron James, Charles Barkley was a bigger guy. Of course, Shaquille O'Neal, which I don't know if he would be in a life size as big as Shaquille O'Neal. But we also have like Tracy McGrady and a few others who were just bigger basketball players who dominated on the court. So he is actual reality. He could be that big and be a basketball player. But we did see the cartoon, and in the cartoon, he was not that big. He was pretty tall and frail. But this is a very good recreation of the figure. I think the best one yet so far. And that's my only opinion. That's my humble opinion. For this figure here, I'm going to give him a B-. And I think he's a great figure, great to have in your collection, but just a big, goofier figure. And I mean, that's a harsh judgment of him, but I really like the way he's done, and I really like the way he's done. But just the way the legs, you don't have control over the feet, so if he doesn't stand up right, you have to figure out how to get him to stand up right. But other than that, I think that's my only, that's the only thing that stops him from being a B plus, in my opinion. He's probably a more expensive figure to get your hands on these days. Just keep your eyes open, keep hunting. With that being said, I'm going to end this video right here. Thank you for watching these videos. If you have any questions or comments, feel free, put them down below. I'll get to you, and I'll get to those questions and comments at my earliest convenience. And thank you again. Keep hunting. Let's keep this 1/18 scale action figure world alive. It's all good. We're going to keep doing this, all right? Thank you, and peace.